Hey guys, welcome to today's reading. This one is all about your December forecast. So we're going to see what's going on in the month of December, everything you can expect, everything you can look forward to, all the channeled messages. We're going to be getting into all of it. And today we have a selection of Christmas cookies for you guys to choose from, perfect for December. So basically you're going to see which of these Christmas cookies is sticking out to you, calling your name, drawing your attention in towards it. And then as soon as you've made up your mind and picked out your Christmas cookie, scroll down to the timestamps and the comments in the description and jump into your cookies pile. That will be the one with the message for you. And I always say that you should pick your pile not based on the one that looks the tastiest to you or the one you would order in a restaurant or want to eat, but the one that's energy is just calling to you the same way you would pick for any other pick a card reading. I also want to mention that I do have a Patreon up with a ton of additional readings. If you like how I read tarot, that's where you can find more of my content. As soon as you sign up, you'll get access to over 65 additional readings. There are readings about love, relationships, career, money, family, friends, future life, past lives, where you should live, shadow work, so many different topics. You'll also get early access to all my YouTube readings. So before this gets posted over here, it always gets posted on Patreon first, and those readings are also ad-free. So if all of that sounds good to you and you would like to join me over on Patreon, go to the link underneath the timestamps in the comments and the description, and you can join me over on Patreon. And if you would like to get a private one-on-one reading with me, you can get that at my website, briarrosetarot.com. You can sign up for a half hour or a full hour-long session with me, have me pull tarot for you, read your astrology, channel for you, and you get to ask me basically whatever you want, and we can delve into whatever topic you would like to explore. So if you're interested in booking a session with me, go to my website, briarrosetarot.com, and the link for that is in my description. So with all that being said, you guys, if you need more time to decide, you can totally feel free to rewind, pause, and take as much time as you need, but we're going to go ahead and jump into pile one. Hey pile one, welcome to your reading. So let's start out with your oracle cards. You guys got Moon Maiden, New Beginnings, Feast of Plenty, Whale Song, Dream Thief, and Straddling Worlds. So I am getting that December is going to be a really impactful, amazing month for you guys. And I'm hearing specifically that there's something new starting. And what it is you guys are going to get a glimpse this month of big energy happening for you in 2023. So this is maybe something you've been trying to manifest. And I'm hearing some of you guys are like, oh yeah, I don't think that's ever going to happen though. Like there's something you've been trying to manifest for a while, but it's like, you've put that out as like, oh, that's a distant possibility. It could never happen kind of a thing. Like, yeah, I'll put it on my vision board, but I don't really believe it kind of vibes, you know? And I feel like this month, you're actually going to get a glimpse as to that happening, and it's going to be something that's going to happen for you in 2024, actually. Why am I saying 2023? Next year, 2024, you're going to get a little glimpse of the future, and it's going to be some big manifestation that's happening for you next year. And a lot of you guys are going to see a window into it this upcoming month. So whatever it is, whether it's like you've been manifesting a relationship, but you've been single for the past 5 years and you're like, there's no way, I'm just always single, I'm never going to get to be in a relationship, but okay, fine, I'll try online dating. Maybe you match with someone this month and get along really well, and you haven't felt a connection like this with anyone else on a dating app. And maybe it doesn't go all the way, but like the conversation was fantastic. You met up for one date, and you know, maybe they messaged you and they were like, hey, I'm not ready for a relationship, but it's a glimpse of it. You know what I mean? Or maybe you've been trying to manifest money, and this month you get a bonus, and maybe it's not fully exactly all you were trying to manifest or you had on your vision board, but it's like, oh wow, I've never had a Christmas bonus this big before. But there's something that you're going to get a glimpse of in the month of December that I'm hearing in 2024, you're going to see it happen all the way. And so this is like your little tiny, you know, vision of what is going to be much bigger for you in the upcoming year. And I'm hearing that the month of December is the start of it. The month of December is really you getting to see exactly what this is going to be. So pay attention in the month of December to a manifestation or something pivoting. There's a big change. I'm not going to lie to you. There is a big change that has happened in your energy field, pile number one. And I'm hearing that this may have had to do with the eclipses. I don't know if for some of you guys, the eclipses aspected major houses like your first house, your fourth house, your seventh house, or your 10th house. But it feels like these eclipses aspected major planets, major houses, or there's been some major astrological energy shifting for you. And I feel like for some of you guys, these eclipses, they really took out the trash for you. They really undid some kind of karma or some kind of negativity from your past and kind of like cleared the slate clean. So I actually feel like as you head into 2024, for some of you guys, this is like a major change, and you are getting images of that as we head into December. So this is just going to be a small kind of window into what's going to actually be happening on a much larger scale in 2024. So like I said, pay attention to what is shifting. If there's like a change happening, like suddenly you feel like you're being asked out to a lot more social events and you usually don't get asked out to social events, or something's different in your career, just know that that change is permanent and it's going to be happening on a larger scale in 2024. So that's just what I'm getting. We're not doing our 2024 readings yet, but I had to channel that message through for you guys because first of all, you also have really positive cards coming off the bat. You got new beginnings resonating, and I feel like you need to know that your energy as we head into this month, like I just want to compliment you. Your energy is so on point, and a lot of you guys are really coming into your own. And the energy of December, I feel for you guys is going to be a lot of fun. There's going to be possibly more social events happening for a lot of you guys, and just almost like a celebratory energy in general around you. It feels like things that in the past you might have had to stress out about, or you may have been like worried about. I feel like December is just going to be a much easier month. But let's get into your tarot cards. So we got the Four of Wands, Judgment, the Ten of Swords, Eight of Swords, Nine of Pentacles, and finally the Nine of Wands. So like I was saying, a lot of social events, social occasions here with this Four of Wands. A lot of you guys are going to be in high demand as we head into this month. And one thing that's coming through is I feel like a lot of you guys are going to be getting more attention. People are going to be noticing you in a way they may have not noticed you for the earlier part of the year. So it's almost like wherever you go, you guys are just going to be attracting attention. You're going to be turning heads. And I am feeling that it is going to be provoking some jealousy. So if at times you feel like people are being competitive with you during the month of December, like maybe you walk into the store and just randomly there's some other, person shopping, and you just feel like they give you a randomly bad look and they're kind of being like rude, or they try to cut in line in front of you or something, and you're like, why does this keep happening to me? Like, why are people giving me the stank eye? And like, geez, I'm just trying to like get some bagels or something. Just know that it is because a lot of you guys are like, you're like a magnet for attention this month. And I am feeling like a lot of that has to do again with the eclipse energy and the fact that y'all are vibrating on like a higher vibration right now. A lot of you guys are attracting attention, specifically romantic attention. And there's this new energy you guys are stepping into. We did get the Judgment card, which shows a process of rebirth and literally reincarnation. So rising back from the dead. And it feels like for a lot of you guys, you are going through some kind of a major identity shift. Like there is some kind of transformation, possibly with how you look happening. And I am feeling like you're going to look better on the other side. So don't be afraid of this change. However, you're going to have a more intense vibe. There's something very intense about you, kind of more Plutonian about you guys, and a little bit harsher. And it's interesting because we have Pluto changing signs as well. And so this is a major long-term transit we're all going through. But for a lot of you guys, I feel like maybe that's what's influencing this. But it feels like there's something shifting within you, and people are going to be a little more intimidated and have harsher reaction to you, because it's kind of like with Scorpio ascendants or Pluto ascendants, how they'll just have people just react viscerally to them. Like they can't go into a room unnoticed. They just have that transformational Pluto ability about them that just like they just cut to the core and people just have strong reactions. People can even sometimes randomly compete with them or like direct negative energy at them for no reason. And it's almost like you're going to have that vibe around you, but you have the power and strength to withstand it. Just like Scorpios have the power and strength to withstand their polarizing like personalities. In the month of December, I feel like you are going to be attracting a lot of competition, but just know that that's also going to be followed up by attracting admirers. So actually, this may be a good time for some of you guys to be dating, because I feel like you're going to have people who are just super drawn to you and almost like obsessed with you, because I feel like, again, this kind of polarizing plutonic like heaviness around you guys is something that actually is going to excite a lot of people. And you may even have people coming to you for healing, is what I'm hearing. Like you're going to have this energy about you that Pluto is, in a way, a little bit of a healer, because it delves down into people's trauma. And even though maybe that's not their goal, they're just trying to like sort around in the trauma, but they usually end up helping the person heal by triggering certain things. And I feel like you're doing that with others. So just be prepared for the month of December to be a little bit of a polarizing time for you and you to get some really insane reactions. But I do feel like most of the people are going to want to be around you. They're going to enjoy you. And you're also heading into a very prosperous energy. This month may just feel easier for you in many ways. Financially, it may feel easier. You may have an easier time paying your bills or just not having to worry as much. You may get some kind of a Christmas bonus or Christmas gift, where, you know, that makes things easier, depending, of course, on, you know, what country you're in and what holidays are celebrated. But this may be a time for you that just financially feels a little bit easier. Although I don't feel you're out of the woods entirely for some of you guys. Like something happening in 2023 is going to be bigger. So I'm not saying that this month is going to be financially like absolutely amazing and you're just going to have a huge influx of money, but it does feel there's an ease around that. And it's almost like you're stepping into your energy, coming into your own somehow this month. Like I feel like there's just a lot of confidence radiating out from you. If you are wanting to date, like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if this is a great time for you to date, because it feels like you're going to be getting a lot of attention. People are going to be noticing you. People are going to be paying attention to you. However, honestly, I'm sensing some reticence on your part, and we do have the Ten of Swords, the Eight of Swords. Some of you guys may feel really compelled to rest this month and just kind of like take it easy. You may just feel like, you know what, I just cannot, I don't really want to go on dates. Like I almost feel like as you step into this, it's almost like you're stepping into a star energy, pile one. It's almost like because so many people are noticing you this month, it's going to take you a minute to adjust. It's almost like a famous person that like they go out onto the street for the very first time, not realizing they became famous overnight or something, and they have random paparazzi following them and people flocking to them, and they're like, what the heck? And it takes them a while to realize that like, oh, I'm gonna have to put on my baseball hat and my sunglasses, and I'm gonna maybe not walk down like Hollywood Boulevard. Maybe I'll go hang out in like a smaller quiet area of Silver Lake so that no one will disturb me. You know what I mean? And I feel like you're kind of, there's a vibe around you where you're getting so much extra attention that I think you're gonna kind of like be freaked out by it at first and kind of maybe go into a little bit of a hermit mode, which I'm hearing is actually completely fine. So don't be afraid to do that. Don't feel like, oh my God, I should make the most of this. I don't see this energy changing for you anytime soon. I feel like you're stepping into your new identity in the month of December that's going to follow you throughout the rest of the year. So this is like you're stepping into 2024 energy early. This energy is going to be around you for quite a long time. So don't be afraid of like, oh my God, let me make the most of this month and go out all the time if you're feeling the need to rest and kind of like go back into yourself. Because again, I don't think that the energy or the attention that has been on you is going to change anytime soon. Let me see if I can get more cards for pile number one. We want to know what's going to happen for pile number one in December 2023. What's going to be happening for them? What will they be looking forward to? The Devil. Yeah, because I'm also getting a vibe for some of you guys of like standing up to a family member or something like that, putting your foot down with someone who's a little bit difficult. Again, it's giving me these Plutonian vibes of someone who is has that power and the strength of Scorpio and is willing to stand up and is willing to say no and is just much more powerful. It feels like this month you guys kind of know what you want more and you're going for it really, really strongly. And I do feel like for some of you guys who have difficult relationships with family, there may be an incident where you stand up to family, where you tell someone no, or even it could be like a difficult boss, a friend, or just people in general, where you're not really willing to sacrifice your own interests or pretend anymore. And I feel like this energy, yeah, it's like no one can kind of tell you what to do. Like I feel like you are having more faith in yourself in the month of December than you ever had before. Whereas in the past, maybe you allowed people to kind of scapegoat you or kind of gaslight you or, not really be fully honest with you. I feel like in the month of December, there's just this heavy energy of like stepping into your power, not being bossed around, not letting someone tell you what to do. Let's see what else. We got the Five of Pentacles, okay, and the Four of Swords. Okay, again, lots of rest energy coming through for you guys this month. So even though you are getting this attention from others, even though a lot of people are paying attention to you, I wouldn't be surprised if you really feel the need to be at home, to rest, to kind of chill. I almost feel like you're having to gear up your muscles because 2024 is going to be such a big year for you guys. I am hearing 2024. It's like this month, like I can't emphasize enough. This month is a small little glimpse into some kind of energy that's happening for you for the rest of 2024. I don't know how else to say it, but it's like you're going to have to really pay attention this month. Pile number one, you guys are going to have to really use your intuition because they're not giving me a specific that it relates to like your career or your love life or whatever. I feel like it's different for everyone in this pile. So you're going to have to pay attention. What has changed in your life recently, or what energy can you feel shifting for you? Like, have you gotten more romantic attention? If so, maybe you are going to be finding the love of your life in 2024. Have you been doing really well in your career, at your job? Have you been getting compliments by your boss? Okay, then maybe you're getting a big promotion in 2024. Have you actually not been doing so well in your job and you've been literally thinking about quitting? Maybe you're going to pivot positions and completely leave this line of work in 2024, but there's something super big happening for you in 2024, and it's almost like you're needing to rest and get your energy up before you can fully step into it. You're getting glimpses of it, and Spirit wants me to tell you that you're ready for this shift, you're ready for this change. So if this could also apply, like, as I'm going to be releasing this here in November. So if something like this has already shifted in your life, if you're like, yeah, someone asked me out for the first time, I haven't been asked out in 3 years, and I just got asked out the other day. That's what it is. It's something like that you have not really thought could shift, that's going to be shifting in this month of December, and it could be in November. Whenever you're watching this, this is when you were supposed to receive the message. That is going to be a major permanent change for you. So I feel like some of you guys, it's almost like you're dipping the toe in the water, then you're pulling it back out, and you're like, oh, okay, wait, I don't know if I'm ready for this. That's okay. Spirit's telling me it's fine for you to take your time as you ease into this new energy. So don't be afraid. You're not going to sabotage anything. It will still be taking place. But whatever is happening in 2024 is way bigger. And it almost feels like this is a little bit of a rest month. You know what I mean? Like this is a calm month. Okay, so we got uncovering treasure beneath the surface lies great bounty. Begin now. Take your first step. And desert passage. Trust there's a divine plan. I'm getting so excited for you, pile one, because this just feels like whatever is happening for you, it's like this is monumental. And again, I'm getting the image of someone who is putting something down on their vision board, and they're like, this is not going to happen. Like, okay, yeah, I'll put down, running my own business, but I'm never going to have time for that. Or I'll put down meeting the man of my dreams and that he has all these features, but I know I'm not going to meet someone like that. And I feel like you're going to be like completely in disbelief as that happens for you in the upcoming year. So I'm just super excited for you guys. Like, I feel this is your kind of time to chill, veg out, rest, relax a little bit, because you're going to need to have like your helmet on as we go into 2024, because we're going to be taking off for something even bigger. This is really huge. Let's see what other cards we're going to get. What other messages, what do they need to be aware of as we head into 2024 and December? Staying focused, hold the course. And that's the only thing that I feel like Spirit wants you to know, really, is like you're ready, and you don't need to freak out or panic or do anything to sabotage this energy, because it feels like for you, it's almost like things have been going wrong for so long that I think for some of you guys, there's a sense of like, how could this possibly work out? Or, oh, Briar, like you're being really positive, but I think this is BS. I don't think anything that great is going to happen to me. You know what I mean? Because it feels like you've been in the kind of slog, the muck, and the swamp for so long that you can't really imagine being at like a beautiful beach. You know what I mean? But you need to know that it's almost like you were in a period of testing throughout the year of 2023. You needed to go through some of these hard moments. And now I feel like there's a big moment of blessing and leveling up, specifically leveling up and kind of graduating happening for you as you head into 2024. Like it's like you have passed a lot of these tests. And yeah, it has been a hard year for you, but that's how you know that you've been doing super good. Like, what I'm seeing is someone who's like going off to Harvard and they're super smart, they're super intelligent, they know so much, and in their mind they're like, oh, I'm an idiot, because they're used to being around like other really smart kids and they've been in this really tough school. And sometimes when things in our life like aren't going well, it's kind of like we need to remind ourselves like we've been in like this really harsh boarding school. Maybe everyone else, their life seems super easy, but maybe they're in like the most basic level school. You know what I mean? And it's not to like look down on them or something, but sometimes we're literally accelerating our growth and we're magnifying our abilities to do well because we're willing to be in that hard school. Just like you could go to two colleges, you could go to like a party school, I'm not going to name any names, but you could go to a party college, where all the kids maybe don't have super high SAT scores and they spend their time tanning and laying out by the pool and going to parties. That's probably going to be a really fun college experience, right? And then if you go to MIT and you go to like the really harsh math department where everyone's a freaking super genius, you're probably going to be like, oh my God, like this was so hard and life is hard and I'm not that smart. But really, you are probably a little bit smarter if you're at that school and you're doing really good. And you needed to go through that hard time in order to graduate with that degree and have a better chance of getting better jobs. So I hope this metaphor makes sense, but I almost feel like y'all have been in like the spiritual equivalent of like MIT or Stanford or Harvard or Princeton or something. You've been really taking the hard lessons on, and I think it's almost like someone who's graduating from MIT and they've been working so hard for so long, they can't imagine things getting any better, because in their mind, every day is like a stay up until 1 a.m. studying day. But they're going to be amazed that now they have this job and it's easier. And because they worked so hard in college, they're able to relax a little when it comes to the real world because they know so much more than maybe that person that took it easy. So I hope this metaphor is resonating and making sense to you guys. But I just feel like you have been through a hard year and you're getting a little glimpse of like, actually life can be really good and life can be really easy and life can be really nice, and maybe I can just relax a little bit and just know that 2024 is going to get even better for you guys. This energy you're heading into the month with is only going to be magnified, and it's going to get more and more magical for you as we head into the rest of the year. So the only advice I would give you is not to freak out, not to, get off course or do anything to sabotage it now. Welcome in this new energy. Know that you are energetically getting aligned with it, and it's going to be a lot better for you. And it's going to get easier and easier. So let's get into some astrology dice for pile number 1. So we got Neptune, the 8th house, and Taurus. Love it. Okay, so I've been mentioning 8th house, aka Scorpio, and Pluto for most of this reading, and it's really interesting because Pluto is, and the 8th house is the house of transformation. It is the house also of other people's money. So like I was saying, financially, you may find you get some kind of windfall this month. Maybe you get a big Christmas gift or Christmas bonus, or maybe you guys just have finances easier for you. Eighth house can also be a house of owing people money, other people's money, debts, that kind of a thing. So, like I said, I don't feel like this is the month for you to go completely crazy and just like, woohoo, I'm winning the lottery this month. I'm not really getting that vibe, but I am feeling like things are going to be a little bit easier for you guys. And this month is kind of getting through this month is kind of the vibe. And then, like I said, 2024 things really take off. But the eighth house, again, is a house of transformation. It's how we really shift our identity with that Pluto energy. It transforms everything it touches. So, again, I feel like there's something fundamental shifting about you guys. There's something that is just going to be so not the same as we head into the beginning of the year. And actually, I feel like this is a really powerful, beautiful process for you guys. So don't be afraid of it. Welcome in this new energy and allow yourself to shift into a higher level of that Scorpio energy, where Scorpio does not allow people to come at them crazy. Scorpio is an energy that will fight someone. Okay, it's ruled by Mars in ancient astrology. The other sign ruled by Mars is, of course, Aries. So it's a sign that doesn't mind and can enjoy fighting. And I feel like there's a vibe with you of standing up for yourself more, like advocating for yourself, saying what you want, going for it, and not allowing anyone to disrespect you or to treat you bad. And again, I feel like you're going to have a kind of disruptive presence about you. Like when you are going out to the store, you may find you're walking in, you're not even dressed up, but everyone's heads are turning and looking at you. And I feel like you just resonate this vibe. And you may even be resonating a really spiritual vibe with the eighth house and Neptune coming out. Neptune obviously rules Pisces. So we have two extremely psychic signs, that maybe the two most psychic signs in the whole zodiac, although of course Cancer would be the other one, but highly psychic, very in tune with the astral plane. And so you may have a presence around you as we go into December of like, you can see through people, you can really, and this might freak a lot of people out. People may not be ready for this, they may not be fully okay with it, they may be kind of like, okay, like I don't even like my interaction with this person. I feel like pile one, you know, they just I don't know, I don't even know what this feeling is, but I feel like kind of invaded. I feel like they saw through to who I really was, and I wasn't ready for that. So just know that your energy is going to be a little disruptive. You may have to be attracting some haters, but that's okay. You're also probably going to be highly psychic and highly attuned this month. So again, Spirit is reminding you, pay attention this month. You're going to be getting a lot of signs, a lot of visions. Another thing for you to pay attention to is if you see a lot of coins or birds or certain insects that navigate with like geolocation or magnets. So like butterflies, dragonflies, those kinds of animals, they're often used by Spirit to send us messages. And I feel like you're going to be highly attuned. Even if some of you guys have been thinking of starting a tarot practice, like maybe pulling tarot cards for yourself every day when you wake up, or meditating every day, or any kind of spiritual practice, just this is a beautiful time for that. You guys are going to be so tuned in and turned on and tapped in. You may even have really psychic prophetic dreams and visions. We also got so much sleeping energy. So again, this may be a great month for you guys to sleep and rest, and you may be getting intense dreams. You also, I'm hearing, maybe highly creatively inspired, because creativity also does relate to the water signs, and it's a type of creativity that really comes from spirit. So that's what makes it so special, is when someone's really kind of creating from a place, because there's other creative placements, of course, in tarot or in the zodiac. But when it comes to water creativity, it's usually a gift from source. It's a random like inspiration of like, you know, I need to write this, or I need to paint this, or I need to do this. And there's often a spiritual mission or message attached to it. So if you feel creatively inspired to write or to create or to redo your room or to cook or to do anything, then definitely do it this month, because again, you're super, super tapped in. I actually feel like this is so exciting to me as a tarot reader. I love to see people who are spiritually tuned in, and you guys are big time. So this is fun for me to even read. Then we also have Taurus, and of course, Taurus is ruled by Venus. It relates to the second house, again, of finances. Finances seem to be a theme for you guys. I'm feeling like this isn't necessarily the month when you're going to get that major payout, that big, big, big deal, but you may be getting a glimpse to it. You may be getting some vision of like I did surprisingly well on this client deal, or I got a really great promotion, or I think I'm actually going to move companies because I don't feel like I'm getting paid enough. But there's some kind of emphasis on your finances. And I do feel like this month is easy. So it doesn't feel to me like there's a necessarily like a flashing red light of like, oh my God, finances are really bad this month. It feels like there's kind of a balance, and we did get the Five of Pentacles with the Nine of Pentacles. So again, there's kind of that balance there of like not in either direction of being like overly abundant or like broke, but just kind of like, I feel like this month for you is good. Maybe don't overspend, maybe don't go crazy when it comes to Christmas and like buy everyone the most elaborate thing you can think of, but it doesn't feel like things are necessarily bad. But we have, again, the second house relates to beauty, okay? It's ruled by Venus, Taurus energy. So it's literally physical earth beauty. And I feel like a lot of you guys are just going to be looking so good this month. This may be your month to take a ton of selfies and to maybe even for some of you guys redecorate your wardrobe or change how you're dressing. You may want to go shopping. I feel like this would be a good time for you to go buy some cute clothes if that's something you're financially able to do. Again, maybe don't go crazy this month, but I feel like getting yourself some new stuff, you're going to have a really good eye for beauty this month, and you're going to be looking good. For some of you guys, if you've been making changes to your health, to your fitness, to your diet, those are paying off and people can really tell. People think you look really, really good at this time. So like I said, don't be afraid to go out and about and be seen by people. Again, you might get some really crazy reactions, but I feel like overall people are like, wow, pile number one, they are looking dang good. So people are going to be drawn to you very powerfully this month. And it's Spirit just showed me the image. This is so funny. And it kind of brings in the other sign we didn't get, the other water sign, Cancer, but I'm seeing a hermit crab shedding its skin and pulling out of its skin, which is kind of a crazy process when you see it. Like, it's so intense to see any animal molt, whether it's a spider or a crab or anything like that. But I feel like that's what y'all are doing this month. You're really transforming. You're really having that scorpionic phoenix energy rising from the ashes and becoming something totally different. And I am feeling like if you guys want love, this month might also be a really great love month. Someone is thinking of you guys, pile one. Someone definitely has you on their mind this month. I actually feel like you're going to have a lot of admirers, but there may be a relationship for some of you guys. If you started a new relationship recently, that is going to be deepening. Things are going to be going really well. If you've been in a long-term relationship, that's also going to be deepening. There's someone that I feel like it's almost like they're coming to terms with their feelings for you. So maybe they have tried to kind of ignore how they feel or be like, oh, I don't really care about pile one, or we're just feeling things out, or we're just getting to know each other. And it does feel like in the month of December, maybe this person is a little more honest with themselves about exactly how they're feeling and how much they like you, and they're kind of not able to ignore it anymore. Now they're going to be like, you know what? I can't stop thinking about them. I gotta like say something, or I gotta do something, or I gotta text them. So yeah, it feels like love wise, things are progressing really well. And again, if you're single, you may just feel like you have gotten more attention, or you're getting more attention this month than you've ever gotten in the future. It feels like love wise, things are just working out for you. But you do have one person, pile number one in particular, who is majorly thinking of you, who has you on their mind and really can't get you out of their head. So even if you're not talking to this person, texting them or interacting with them a lot, trust me, they are checking your social media, they are noticing you, and they are remembering you, thinking of you, and yeah, they have you on their mind big time. So yeah, I think that's what I have for you guys. Pile number one. I really hope that resonated with you. If it did, let me know in the comments. I always love hearing from you guys and getting your reactions. So let me know what your thoughts are. Also, give this reading a thumbs up, hit the like button, and make sure to subscribe and turn on those notifications so you can find out as soon as I post next. And if you want to see more of my content, then check out my Patreon. I posted this over on Patreon early and ad-free, and I post all my readings over there first, so you get early access to my readings as well as all my additional readings. There's over 65, I think almost 70 additional readings over there that are only on Patreon. And there are love readings, career readings, spirituality readings, family readings, friendship readings, so many different topics to choose from. So if you want to join me over on Patreon, I'd love to have you. Just go to the link underneath the timestamps in the comments and the description, and I'd love to see you there. Also, if you would like to get a private one-on-one reading with me, you can get that at my website, briarrosetarot.com. You can sign up for a half hour or a full hour-long session with me, have me pull tarot for you, read your astrology, channel for you. You get to really choose what we talk about, what we delve into, and how the session goes. So if that sounds good to you, head to my website, briarrosetarot.com, and the link is in my description for that. Thank you so much for watching. I am sending you so much love and light, and I'll be back again very soon with another reading. Take care, guys. Bye. Hey, Pile 2, welcome to your reading. So let's start out with your oracle cards. You guys got Will-o'-the-Wisp, Watchers, Deep Diver, The Further Gate, and Benefactor. So what I am feeling this month is it's like a hot month for you guys. And by that I mean there may be a new sexy relationship or a crush happening for you, or some new passion around a project. But I'm getting a lot of like wand fire energy just intuitively. It feels to me like there is some kind of new thing that is giving you so much energy and you're paying attention to it. You're excited for whatever this is. Like this has got your full attention focused on it. There may even be some conflict for you this month. So there is a message to just be careful. Like if you have to go home for Christmas or something like that, just be aware that maybe there can be a propensity for conflicts to happen easily with this energy around you. You may also be just stepping into your confidence in such a way that like if someone said something slightly rude to you last year, maybe you would just turn the other cheek and be like, oh, it's no big deal. And this month you're like, oh no, I have time for this. Excuse me. Let me set you straight. Don't talk to me like that. And so there's a message to use your energy wisely this month, because a lot of you guys are going to be full of energy. You're going to have a lot of energy flowing in you. So just not to like waste it on stupid conflicts, stupid things, because I do feel like your energy is very streamlined and very strong this month. So if you apply it to like a crush, that crush is going to be extremely exciting, fun. It's going to be probably moving very fast. You know, there's a lot of power with your energy this month. Or if you apply it to a project, that project may just really take off, and maybe you decided you wanted to write something and you end up writing like 50 pages or 100 pages by the end of the month, you know. But it just feels like there's so much strength within you this month. So just kind of like use it where you want and don't be drawn into any random conflict or stupid uses of your power, because I do feel like there is a feisty, almost fiery quality around you guys, and some people may even be a little threatened by this in the month of December. So there's just that warning of like not getting into stupid random conflict with strangers or your friends or family members or anything like that. But I do feel like a lot of people are going to be noticing you. You may be reuniting with people. I know, of course, this is the month of December, so a lot of people go home for Christmas or the holidays, or if they are home, they might meet up with friends from like their childhood, from their hometowns. So that could be it for some of you guys, but it just does feel like you're going to be more social, or there's going to be more occasions for being social this month. You're going to have more people around you, and the people that are around you are going to be noticing you. Let me get into some tarot for pile number 2. We want to get some tarot for pile 2. So we got the Emperor. Okay, that makes perfect sense because the Emperor is ruled by Aries, and it does feel very Aries around you guys. With Aries, I love Aries. I have so many Aries in my life, and to me, they are one of the most fun signs. They, to me, always remind me of that first breath of spring when you're just like, oh, it's gonna be winter forever, and then suddenly you hear the birds or you see the green and the life kind of comes back. Like, to me, that's Aries energy. But there can be problems with Aries where they have so much energy that sometimes they can direct it randomly and kind of waste their beautiful energy that they have, that's such a gift to be around, on stupid petty things, like getting into a random fight with like someone in a grocery store about who can take the last, you know, English muffin, and it's like not even a great use of their energy, and maybe they'd be better off just being like, whatever, it's fine, take it, you know, instead of like arguing with someone for 5 minutes about like, I was there first, no, I was there. So with Aries, again, just being careful. Also, I find a lot of Aries, they get targeted. It's kind of like people can sense their power in the same way Scorpios get this vibe, where people can sense their power and they might randomly start a fight with them. They might randomly decide that they're going to try to like steal their parking lot spot at the last minute. And it may be that the Aries is literally minding their own business, not doing anything, but they just have this like power that kind of threatens other people. And people know that they can start a fight with an Aries easily. They can sense that about them. So they're gonna be like, perfect, I'm in a bad mood. That person, I'll take them on, you know, in a way that they might not with like a Libra or a Pisces who'd probably be like, whatever, you know, and just like not even want to engage, not have the energy to engage. With an Aries, like they know, they can tell the power, they know they picked the right person. So just being aware of that and using your energy selectively this month is, I think, going to be a really big deal for you. But with the Emperor, you have the power and the potential to move mountains, to make a lot of great forward momentum, forward potential in whatever you want this month. So you may feel yourself coming into your power and having less patience for the BS in the same way the Emperor would, because the Emperor is kind of like the personality of a CEO. You know, they don't have time for nonsense. So there's a lot of potential for you to move your career forward, for you to be making powerful money moves, or to meet, you know, people to date. If there's any kind of goal you have, this is a great month for you to be pursuing it. Let's pull a couple more cards for pile number 2. Pile number 2, we want to pull cards. Ooh, the 6 of Pentacles, okay? That came out upright. So this could be a good month for you financially for sure. Even if you have a legal, clarify the Justice card. Clarify the Justice card, Spirit. What's going to be happening with the Justice card? The King of Swords. Okay, so that could be a positive outcome if there's been a legal issue for you. That could be something that turns out very positively. However, there could also be a message for you to like read the fine print, make sure all the details are in place, make sure that everything is checked and then double checked and triple checked, and that everything, all the I's are dotted and T's are crossed, so to speak, so that like nothing can go wrong. But this could be a positive outcome for you legally if that's been something that's been hanging over your head for the month of December. And also, you may be just noticing small details. I'm feeling like this month, if someone is trying to pull the wool over your eyes or get away with something, this is the month you guys will notice for sure. So maybe it's like you were thinking of moving into an apartment, but on your final tour of the place, or when you're going to sign the contract, you see something in the fine print and you're like, wait, what does this mean? Like, we have to pay $500 to have a pet, but I have a pet. I mentioned that to you. You said it would be fine. Now you're saying it's an extra $500 fee, and like something about it just rubs you the wrong way and you decide not to move in, or you're noticing it and you argue with them and they're like, okay, fine, we'll waive the fee. But I feel like you're going to be paying a lot of, it's almost like no one can fool you at this time. You're going to be really on your game, pile number 2. And with the 6 of Pentacles, you may also be feeling generous towards others. You may be getting some kind of a windfall yourself. You may have someone giving you something or offering you something, but I almost feel like you're stepping into more of your power. So this may just be you feeling more charitable, feeling like you want to give to others, or really wanting to like go out of your way. Maybe this year it could even relate to Christmas, again, the giving season. So you may be like, you know what, I want to give someone extra great presents this year, and I'm gonna make sure that I like find their special perfume that you have to special order from like their website and it's not in stores, and I'm gonna go out of my way to make it extra amazing for them. But with the 6 of Pentacles, this could be a really great Christmas for you, or a really good giving season where you either get the gifts you want, or you're going to be really generous with the gifts you give to others. We got the Hanged Man. There's something this month that is going to really rub you guys the wrong way or depress you guys. And this is what I'm getting, where there may be random conflict or even a disappointing situation with like a friend, a family member, a coworker, and kind of like a sense of betrayal coming through. And again, I just want to emphasize that if that does happen, or it's been happening for you recently, that that is a reflection of your power. It's because these people can sense how powerful you are. These people can sense this beautiful trajectory you're on, and that I feel like in a way, some of you guys in the past, you kind of had to moderate your power in order to make people around you feel comfortable. You kind of had to hold yourself back and make yourself smaller so that you wouldn't threaten them, because you could tell that they would be offended or they wouldn't know how to handle it if you were truly in your power, truly radiating out as strongly as possible. So I feel like for some of you guys, you have kind of really muted yourself in a way to try to appease certain people, and it feels like that energy is very much over this month. So there is a volatile energy here. It's almost like a volcano that could explode, and things could be fine or things could be bad, or things could be bad. May not be that bad, it may be bad, we won't really know until the moment. But I feel like there's something where you're kind of putting your foot down. There's something that like you have put up with in the past, and maybe it's been building up with you, you know, throughout 2023. And as we come to the end of the year, you're just like, okay, I have to stand up for myself. I have to say something. I have to say no. I have to put my foot down. But I feel like the energy you're stepping into is much stronger, and you're much more willing to stand on your own 2 feet. So I think a lesson that you're learning in the month of December is just to like everything that's for you is going to be for you, right? So that's not to say we give ourselves full permission of like, I'm going to lose my temper and start throwing things across the room. But I do think that if there's like a friendship in our life and we don't feel comfortable being honest with that person, or there's a family relationship that we feel like we have to edit ourselves in order to continue that relationship, we feel like we can't really say what's on our mind. We feel like we have to kind of filter and stuff ourselves inside a box so that that family member is cool with us, then that's not even a relationship we want to put our energy in. And I feel like you really are learning that this month. Like there's going to be some energy of you stepping into your power on a much greater level, and maybe someone around you not being okay with that. Maybe you changing how you speak to them, or just not being willing to like filter yourself as much, and this person really taking offense to it. But I do feel like on the other side of it, there's kind of like a freedom. And for some of you guys, I'm not gonna lie, this may be a sad falling out. This may be something that really bothers you, or you've been trying to stave it off for the longest time, trying to be positive, trying to look on the bright side, and it's really sad to you that like you're not going to be able to push through and make things work with this person. But again, I feel like on the other side of this, there's such a sense of like accomplishment and personal autonomy, personal self-worth, personal power. So it's worth it for you to work through maybe a friendship falling off, or a relationship falling off, or a business relationship, you know, leaving in some way, because on the other side, there's just going to be this incredible sense of, I knew I could do this. I know my power. I know who I am, and I'm not letting anyone hold me back. So yeah, we have the Hermit coming out. There may be a need to remove certain people from your life. There may be some distinctions, or maybe even just thinking over like, do I want this person around me? Have they treated me well? Am I being respected at work? Am I not? And I feel like you need to like just be honest with yourself about these feelings, allow them to surface, allow whatever needs to happen with them to happen. So if you do need to have a blowout fight argument with someone and then let that relationship fall off, then maybe that's exactly how it's supposed to go down. Maybe that's a really good thing. And maybe that's something that needed to happen for the longest time. I think sometimes we can look at relationships ending, or fights or arguments, as like this horrible setback, this horrible negative thing that's just like across the board a bad thing. But just like the death card in tarot, you know, a lot of times it's something, or the Tower, that needed to happen in order for us to step into our highest version of ourselves. And if someone isn't ready for us to step into the highest version of ourselves, of course they're going to be mad. Of course they might try to stand in the way by sabotaging us or making us feel guilty. And that's just something that really needs to be removed so we can step into this new identity. So I don't know what's going on, but for some of you guys, I just feel like you need to give yourself permission that, yeah, maybe some relationships will fall off on this path that you're on, especially in the month of December. There's a lot of volatility here. So there is a message to work on your energy. Make sure with your energy that like as much as possible. Another thing I think you need to hear is, sometimes I think with dysfunctional situations, dysfunctional people, places, things, whatever, we always feel the need of like, well, I have to set them straight, or I have to like fight on this. And I think a really cool lesson has for me has been realizing I don't need to fight on anything. And if something dysfunctional is happening and maybe it offends me and I'm like, well, I need to tell them off, or I need to like, I need to let them know that what they did was wrong. And it's like, why would I even need to do that? Like that's like heavy, intense work, right? Like you pay a therapist lots of money per session to talk you through all your issues. Why would I try to change someone in my free time for no pay? It's actually harsher on them karmically for me to just be like, oh yeah, okay, awesome, and leave them be in their own dysfunctional energy. And spirit will take care of it sooner or later. So I feel like you kind of need to learn the lesson that like you don't have to engage with everything. You don't have to fight every battle. A lot of people who have like South Node in Aries or in Scorpio kind of think this, like they were warriors or soldiers possibly in past lifetimes a lot of times, or they did work that involved a lot of conflict, and to them in their past life, even if it was just a marriage or any kind of relationship, but there was conflict for them, and they kind of think they always have to like do the work and set someone straight and let them know and fight people on this. And it's like you don't even need to take that on. So kind of like giving yourself permission to just be happy, just to float with it. I think it's interesting, like all the other water signs, Scorpio and Cancer, they all have natural protection, so they have like pinchers when they're the crab, Cancer, or for Scorpio, they have their stinger. But what's interesting is Pisces is the only sign that doesn't have any natural protection. And so sometimes people are like, oh, so Pisces is the weak water sign, but actually Pisces is just a fish. And Pisces, when they don't think a situation is safe, they just won't engage at all. They won't fight the person, they'll just swim off. And I actually think that's a really smart way of dealing with things, right? Like we don't have to be the scorpion and go fight someone one-on-one. And maybe it's actually the safer thing just to swim off and go in a totally different direction. So sometimes giving yourself that permission of like, you know what, I don't even need to engage with this. I don't need to fight this battle. I don't need to like argue with my boss so that everyone in the office gets a fair lunch hour. I can just like either go with it or not, and just do what makes me feel good. And I have no obligation to fight for myself or anyone else. I can choose the energy I want to engage with and the energy I don't want to engage with. And sometimes there's a time to fight, and sometimes there's a time just to be like, nah, whatever. So I don't know. Some of you guys, I feel like needed to hear that, but let's get one final card for the month of December for pile number 2. Oh my gosh, more of this energy. I'm telling you guys, 7 of Wands. So yeah, there's conflict. I feel like a lot of people may be directing conflict your way. People may just find themselves being like rubbed the wrong way by you this month. And sometimes, especially when you have like Mars transiting the first house or Pluto or something, it can just feel like you can't win. Like everything you do, people are going to get mad about it. Everything you do, people are going to have something to say. Everything you do, people are going to be offended. But the real message is not to like let it get under your skin, not to choose, realizing that you are the master of your own destiny. You are the master of your own fate. So if there's something you're like, I don't want to engage in, I don't want to talk about this, or I don't want to fight in it, just learning just to kind of like put it off, And again, I think it's interesting because Pisces has that placement as a water sign. Sometimes people think they avoid conflict or that they're afraid of conflict, and it's actually not true. Pisces has some of the highest number. When you look at like professional fighters, it's insane how many Pisces placements there are, like a Pisces Sun or a Pisces Mars. Pisces can fight. They just often choose not to because they're like, why would I when I could just swim off and go somewhere else? You know what I mean? So I think sometimes people think that, well, if this person was rude to me, I have to say something. Or if this person cuts me off in traffic, I have to cut them off back. Or if this boss was nasty to me, I have to speak up for myself. Otherwise, I'm being disrespected. And realizing that you're the only one who controls your power, their perspective of you is irrelevant. So I don't need to engage with anything that doesn't make me feel happy or positive or good or like it's an energetic match for what I'm trying to manifest. So if that means just rolling away and just being like, okay, cool, Uncle David, so you think blah, 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 crazy thing. Well, I'm just going to ignore it, or okay, cool, Aunt Janice, you said something that I totally disagree with, but you know what? That's cool. And you can think what you want, and I can think that I'm right and you're wrong, and I'm not going to change you. You're not going to change me. And just kind of learning to like not be attached to it. You know what I mean? Just being like chill about whatever. I get to choose what I spend my energy on. I think is going to be key for you guys, because I almost feel like you could be taking this energy this month and directing it towards something so amazing, like writing a book or starting a crush. For some of you guys, to pivot a little, I am sensing there's a new energy around a crush or a new relationship that could be really exciting, really fun, and you could use this kind of fire energy around you to manifest something brand new relationship wise that I feel like has a lot of opportunity there. There's a lot of potential. So it may be a new relationship that you're thinking of getting in with someone who's really cute that you definitely have a crush on, and they may be really feeling you too. So again, don't waste your energy on anything that isn't making you happy, because pile number one, you guys have a lot of potential for things that are going to be super exciting. Let's get into some more cards for pile one. What messages do we have? Mystic Healer. Healing energy flows through you. So you guys may find that you have a healing energy about you this month, and I am getting the vibe of someone who has a lot of powerful energy. Wow, a lot of cards flew out. So we got Ascending the Mountains, Keep Going Forward, Fogged In, Go Slow, Take Time, Valiant Courage, Take Action with Passion. So yeah, I feel like it's kind of interesting because we have some conflicting messages coming out. One is, take action with passion. The other is go slow. But I actually think this is a really good, and to me, it makes sense. It's kind of like for me, how I decide what kind of action I want to take with any situation is just feeling how that individual action resonates for me. So if I'm feeling like, go do it right now, take action, be fast about it, then that's what I'm going to do. Or if I'm feeling like this situation I can be kind of chill about, that's what I'm going to do. And I almost feel like it's something where we can get into like a habit of taking one kind of energy, right? Like we are chill with one thing, so we start being chill with everything. So we start letting certain things slide and being super chill and not really responding to our emails and not really paying our bills or whatever, you know what I mean? And then, but on the other side, sometimes we can be too like aggressive. We can get into this habit of like, I'm going to go after it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to make this happen. And with everything in our life, we can apply the same energy when the reality is different energetic situations require different energies. And how you can tell if an energy is for you is if how it feels like it resonates. If it feels positive, if it feels like you have a lot of energy for it and you're ready to go and you're so excited for something and it feels like all systems go, green light, let's go, move forward, then yeah, take it with a lot of positive energy. Apply your full force of energy towards it. If you feel a sense of real urgency that comes from a positive place, then absolutely go for that. But if you also feel like, I don't even want to engage in this is giving me like the ick, or this situation, I just don't like it, this situation feels janked up, don't feel like, well, I need to apply that same energetic flow. I need to move forward. I need to be strong about it. Maybe you're feeling kind of blasé about it for a reason. So pile two, you guys have such a powerful energy as we head into the month of December, but I feel like you're going to need to really be selective with what kind of energy you direct. Your energy is going to be so precious and valuable this month. It has the power to transform, it has the power to really move things forward. But just don't feel like you have to engage with things you don't want to engage with. And I think some of you guys this month, you may feel very sucked into old patterns, old traumas, old relationship dynamics, and it may be something that's very triggering for you. And I just feel like you need that reminder that like you don't have to engage with anything you don't want to engage with. So if something is feeling draining, if something is feeling negative to you, or on the other side, if something is feeling exciting, then react accordingly, because that's why I hate like dating advice. It's just like, well, never pursue him or always pursue, because it's like the truth is you kind of have to read the room, right? You have to like choose, like different people are gonna like different things. Different guys are gonna like different things. Different girls are gonna like different things. I know I have a totally different style that I like to be approached in than like some of my other friends. And if someone approached me the same way they've approached some of my friends, I'd be like absolutely not interested. And by the same token, I'm sure I've been approached in certain ways romantically that my friends would be like, oh, I don't like that. And that's because we're all individuals. And by the same token, I think when it comes to like different parts of our life, it's okay to kind of pause, read the energy, choose how we want to proceed, and then proceed rather than just rushing in and getting into a rut of like, oh, I always react this way. So let me get one more final message for pile number 2 for the month of December. Journey by Moonlight, believe in magic. So I feel like you guys need to know, first of all, there's a message for some of you guys again about feeling a little bit sad about certain relationships, or feeling a little mistreated, or feeling like, oh, I always get treated this way, or I always get disrespected, or I always get the worst boss, or I never get the promotions at work, whatever. And I feel like you really need to kind of transform how you're allowing yourself to be treated. This month may be a forward momentum month where you are going to really throw off the shackles of believing that it's okay to be treated in certain dysfunctional ways. And you may find that when it comes to December, you're really willing to put your foot down in a very even calm way and be like, yeah, I didn't like, I know I usually respond to the emails that you send me at 1:45 a.m., but technically I get off work at 6 p.m. and that's kind of the last time I'll be responding to emails. But I'll respond at 8 a.m., but yeah, I can't respond to any more emails in 2 in the morning. There's almost like an energy of you pushing back from something. And I feel like a lot of this is positive for you, because I feel like for the longest time you didn't feel like you had the self-worth to be able to say no to certain things. A lot of you guys felt like you just had to put up with whatever, and if someone was treating you badly or someone was acting dysfunctional, then you were still going to turn the other cheek and just pretend it was okay. And I actually feel like a really positive thing is that you're willing to put your foot down now in a way you weren't before. Let's get some astrology dice for pile number 2. So we got, it's really dark because it's raining. It's like pouring rain. So we got Uranus, Taurus, and then the 10th house, Capricorn. So we have Aquarius, Taurus, and Capricorn energy coming through. So let's start out with Uranus. Uranus can be a beautiful burst of inspiration. It can be that sudden feeling of like, I need to do this totally differently. And suddenly I have, Uranus is it's like an inventor, or it's even astrology. It's like a brilliant and very like kind of technical or mathematical way of looking at things. There's other forms of brilliance, but Uranus is so smart and is such a like genius type of energy. And a lot of times it's a sudden burst of inspiration. So again, be paying attention to where your energy feels called to this month, because you may have a sudden like Ace of Wands rush of energy where you just feel suddenly super called to do something different. You also got the King of Swords. I feel like you need to know that validation that you are not crazy. The things you're picking up on and perceiving in this upcoming month are not wrong at all. A lot of you guys are completely on point. The points you're making are totally valid. So if you have someone in your life who kind of gaslights you, or who will be like, oh my gosh, you're overreacting, or you're crazy, or it's not that deep, or whatever, just know that you are right. And maybe this person doesn't want you to perceive the situation as accurately as you are. So trust your judgment on this. And also pay attention to any sudden bursts of like, I want to write this, or I want to go here, or I want to do that. Because I feel like your mind is really firing on all cylinders. It's very precise this month. For some of you guys this month, you may have someone trying to even gaslight you out of like a professional situation. And by that, I mean, it's almost like you go in to get your hair done, for example, and you show the hairstylist a certain photo and they do something totally different. And then at the end, you're like, wait a minute, I asked you to dye my hair like chestnut brown. My hair is dark red. Like, what is going on? And you might have the hairstylist be like, no, you showed me the picture. No, that's light chestnut. And you might have to argue with them about it. But I feel like you need to know that you're going to be completely right about whatever this is. Some of you guys have actually been like deliberately gaslighting yourselves, telling yourselves that certain situations were okay, and they're going to come to a head in the month of December, and you're not going to you're not going to want to lie anymore about this. You are really stepping into your power very strongly. And a lot of you guys are building something really strong. We got Taurus, which is the second house. So I feel like people are sensing your power more and more. And Taurus is that energy of something we achieve slowly over time, something that we really put our individual work into. It's individual earned income and, careers and how we bring value and add to the world. So I feel like you guys need to know that what you have to offer is super, super special. And it's something that also may be taking time. So don't be afraid if there's something you've been working on and it's taking a little time. And also don't be afraid of this process that you may be going through a pruning. So letting go of the people that aren't adding value to your life, letting go of the people that may have bad intentions to you, that is such a positive process. So it's not a bad thing if you feel like suddenly I just don't have any more patience for like my weirdly negative mom who's always criticizing me every time I come home, and she always asks me why I'm not making more money and why I'm such a loser. And suddenly I used to like laugh it off, and now I feel like I don't want you to talk like that to me anymore, and I'm going to stand up to you. That's actually a positive step forward because you were in the process of building something, and whenever you build, you have to like clear stuff out first, right? You have to like clear away room for the foundation, clear out the old building, and make a fresh start. And I feel like that's part of the process you're going through now. Then we also have the 10th house of reputation, and it's also a career house. So again, this mentality or this forward momentum with your career that is going to involve getting rid of some things and bringing in new things. And 10th house is also our house of honors, how we're perceived by others, especially combined with the 11th house. A lot of people may have their eyes on you, be noticing you. Again, I feel like for some of you guys, it's a little bit of a competitive vibe. It's a little bit of negativity being directed at you, or jealousy, or kind of intimidation from you. But Capricorn is a house or an energy or a sign that learns through hardship. It's ruled by Saturn. So when like seemingly bad things happen to Capricorn placements, they always end up benefiting from it. And Saturn is that hardest teacher, but they give the biggest reward. So don't be afraid if some negativity happens in the month of December, or if you're feeling like, you know what, I can't tolerate this anymore, I'm putting my foot down. I actually think that's going to be really, really positive for you guys. And I feel like the changes that you're making at this time are putting you a step ahead. So as we come into 2024, you're going to be able to manifest more of exactly what you want as you prune out some of these things that were holding you back, as you learn to listen to your inner voice and no longer glaze over certain things or pretend certain things don't bother you or pretend something's fine when you know it's not. That energy is changing for you, and it's actually a really positive and really good thing. So yeah, I think that's what I have for you guys. Pile number 2. I really hope it resonated. If it did, let me know in the comments. I always love hearing from you guys, hearing your thoughts and your stories. So let me know what you think. Also, make sure to give this reading a thumbs up, hit the like button, and make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. And if you want to see more of my content, head to my Patreon. I posted this early over on Patreon, and I post all my videos over there early and ad-free, so they get to see it there first. But also, when you sign up, you'll get access to all my individual readings for Patreon. So readings that are exclusive to Patreon, you'll get access to about 70 additional readings. And there are readings about love, about career, money, relationships, family, friendships, past lives, future lives, every topic under the sun we try to cover. If that sounds good to you, head to the link underneath the timestamps in the comments in the description, and I would love to see you there. Also, if you want to get a private one-on-one reading with me, you can get that at my website, briarrosetarot.com, and you can sign up for a half-hour or full hour-long session with me, have me pull tarot for you, read your astrology, channel for you, and you get to control kind of what we talk about, how long it goes, and all that jazz. So if that sounds good to you, go to my website, briarrosetarot.com, and the link for that is in my description. Thank you guys so much for watching. I am sending you so much love and light, and I'll be back again very soon with another reading. Take care, guys. Bye. Hey, pile 3, welcome to your reading. Let's start out with your oracle card. So you guys got Jeweled Web, Connectivity, the Vanishing Mirror, Straddling worlds, sky bridge, and sky writing. So, what I'm getting right off the bat is a lot of you guys are going to be spending time with friends, family. It makes perfect sense because, of course, the upcoming month is December, which is Christmas time, the holidays. So, a lot of you guys may be around visiting family and friends. But I feel like this is a really nice, lovely time for you guys. I'm also getting a homebody vibe. So you guys may be feeling the need to rest up a lot this month or to kind of get some sleep, chill a little bit, spend time at home cooking or even cleaning, puttering around the kitchen. And I feel like you need to give yourself that permission that if you do feel the need to rest or if you feel the need to really like crash on the weekends, if you're busy this month and there's just a need for extra sleep in some way, definitely giving yourself that okay of like, you know what, that's fine. And I am going to allow myself to get some sleep. I also feel like for some of you guys, you're going to be creatively inspired. So if you feel like you have a sudden inspiration to write a book or to whip up a new recipe, definitely take that, use that, and run with it. Because I feel like there's just an energy of you kind of spending time alone with yourself as well as with others and loved ones, but kind of getting that downtime that I think is so crucial to creativity, where a lot of times I find when I'm going a million miles an hour, and of course everyone's different. I'm a projector, I need a lot more sleep, but some people may be manifesting generators and they can just keep going and going. But I find that like if I'm going super fast all the time, I get really burnt out. And if I spend like a day just chilling and just sleeping and relaxing a little bit and like cooking or, resting, then I'm able to give more to my readings or other creative pursuits I have. So I feel like for you guys, just don't be afraid if you're feeling like, I kind of want to take some time off or I want to chill, but I don't want to be lazy. I feel like you're kind of getting your energy back this month and yeah, kind of like plugging back in. And you may also find you're very psychic this month with this straddling worlds card. So you may find that you are getting a lot of downloads during those rest periods, that when you do take that night to sleep in and you're getting 11 hours of sleep a night and maybe you're like, oh my god, am I going crazy, why am I sleeping so much, but your dreams are super vivid. And I'm feeling like the people that come to you in your dreams, the visions you have in your dreams, the symbols you see, they're going to be super potent and powerful, and there's stuff you should really pay attention to during this month. So don't let that just slide by. I always love when I'm having really vivid dreams. I always feel like it's like the best time to it's the best way for me to get downloads. And I've seen so many weirdly specific things happen during dreams. I'm going to shuffle these really quick and then we're going to do the tarot. Yeah, let's get into the tarot. So what tarot cards do we have for pile number 3, Spirit? Pile number 3, what tarot cards do we have for them for the month of December? We got the Knight of Pentacles. Okay, so you guys may be moving forward on something. It could be anything that has to do with pentacle energy. So, like money, career, even where you live. It's generally an energy that's very plotting, very methodical. Involves a lot of planning, so something that you wouldn't necessarily want to rush into. So like I said, it could be looking for a new house to live in and you're having to compare like crime statistics and neighborhoods and looking up like, I don't know, tax rates in different areas or something, but it can be that thing that requires a lot of careful attention and is going to take up a lot of time, and it's not going to be a process that happens overnight, but you may have a lot of energy to direct towards this. So if you have been thinking about making a move or going somewhere or pivoting in your career or something, maybe you'll be doing a lot of research this month. Maybe some of you guys will be moving things forward in some way or getting more of a vision of what you want, especially as we head into 2024. Maybe you'll be like, you know what, I definitely think I do want to sign up for that extracurricular class after work because I think I want to pivot my career. But you may get more of a vision of like, okay, I know what I want with this. I know the details, because the Knight of Pentacles is also kind of a detail-oriented card. It's not a sword energy, but with the Pentacles, they generally like to know everything. They're not a super emotional or a super like, let me just rush in and do it type energy. It's like, it's going to make sure all the things are taken care of. All the I's are dotted and T's are crossed, and that it's a kind of reliable, it's a solid foundation with the Knight of Pentacles. Let's get some more tarot cards. So yeah, like don't be afraid to continue moving things forward with work, or to do whatever research you want for another aspect of your life or another long-term change. We got the Three of Cups, and now we just got the Tower, and then two cards, the Star and the Justice card. So with the Three of Cups coming out, again, I'm seeing you guys spend time with family and friends. I'm seeing there being a lot of opportunities for socialization for you this month. And that feels really good to me. It feels like that kind of recharges your batteries. So if there is like a family function and you're like on the fence about going to it, then definitely go, because I feel like you're going to get a lot out of it. It's going to be very sentimental, I'm hearing, for some of you guys. There may even be like a visit to an aunt that you haven't seen for a while, or visiting your grandma for one last time, and then, you know, she's maybe has a health issue. I'm not saying I don't want you guys to panic. I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm just giving examples of like things where, you know how sometimes in the moment you go visit a family member or you see a friend, and at the time it seems super normal and commonplace, and you're kind of like, oh yeah, I was just seeing my friend Sarah and I dropped off a pie for her or something. And then Sarah ends up randomly being like, oh my God, I got transferred in my job and I'm moving away. And even though you didn't think anything of it and it was just a normal night for you, and you were like, hey, I've been baking all day, I have a pie, do you want one? And it's just like a random Tuesday to you. You end up like loving that memory and just having so many great thoughts about like how she was like, hey, I have this bottle of wine, why don't we open it and let's chat and catch up. And you end up having some pie and wine, and it's like a random night, but it just lives in your memory as like a special time. I feel like for some of you guys, you're gonna have some kind of experience like that where, you know, maybe there's a family member that you haven't seen, or you just have a great conversation with like a sibling and you patch up something, or you just, you know, someone tells someone how much they mean to them and it really puts a smile on their face, or you see a cousin that is your favorite cousin and they're so much fun and it's really great to see them. There's something like that happening around you guys, whether it's friends or family, that I feel like just brings a smile to your face, and Spirit is reminding you to really give that the most enjoyment you can. Live out every second of it. Don't take it for granted or be like, oh, this is stupid, or you know what, I'm not even gonna go. Like, there's this Christmas breakfast thing, but like, I don't have time, so I'm not gonna go. Go. Like, you guys should definitely take advantage of all this stuff, because again, there's so much opportunity for you to really have a great, beautiful, meaningful session for yourself with someone else this month. Then we also got the Tower card and the Justice card. So with the Tower card, that can talk about an ending or something coming to an end, and it can be in a chaotic way. Generally, the Tower card would be something ending in our life that we haven't really been honest about or self-actualized ourselves about, if that makes sense. So something that we're trying to pretend is working, or, you know, the tower can only fall when it's built on a non-solid foundation, right? I mean, there's old towers in like Germany and Italy and Northwest Europe that have been standing for like thousands of years and are super beautiful still, right? So towers can last a long time, but if there's something wrong with the foundation, that's when it will fall. So if there's something in your life that you feel like isn't super strong, like maybe you're at a job but you really dislike it, and the boss is kind of crazy, that can talk about endings or pivotings that might happen with that. So it may be that you're like, I need to leave this job because, you know what, I never got along with my boss and it just never flowed for me. But to be honest, I am not getting the vibe that for a lot of you guys, this is something you need to like super be aware of. I almost feel like you guys in pile 3, the only thing that could come through with that, I don't know how to describe this energy, but there's something about you sometimes. I almost am getting like a depression vibe, or someone putting a smile on when they're not really smiling on the inside. And what Spirit is saying is that just may continue this month. I'm not necessarily seeing it come to a head the way the Tower card will, which actually is why the Tower card is a gift, because it trains us out of that energy. I'm seeing that some of you guys this month, it may, if you've been at a job that you like really dislike and you've been like, yeah, it sucks and I kind of hate it, it may just continue, which is kind of the worst punishment we can get, you know? And kind of that message to you about you being the master of your own destiny and your own fate. So like, if you're not happy in a situation, you got to figure out how to change it. You have got to do something about it. You know, I've made this metaphor or told this story before, and it's, yeah, kind of what's coming to my mind for you guys. But I was staying in a hotel once. I really liked the room. I was like, yeah, this is a great view. It's a nice room. Everything's good. The only thing is, I think there was like some noise in the mornings or something like that that would kind of annoy me when I was trying to sleep in. But I had a few days left there and I was like, it's fine. And I think I mentioned it to the front desk of like, oh, is there anything that can be done about the noise? And they insisted on moving me to a different part of the hotel, like insisted. And I was like, no, 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 like it's not that bad. I just was asking like if something could be done. And they were like, no, 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 we're gonna move you. And they were super insistent that I had to move because, you know, the noise. And I was just like, I don't really want to move, to be honest with you. Like, I don't want to pack all my stuff up. I'm not a Virgo that's taking my stuff out and like hanging it in the, you know, little like closet on the hangers. I don't do that. I just like keep my stuff in the suitcase. It's kind of a mess. I'm like, I don't want to pack again. And so I was like, no, it's fine. They were like, no, 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 we promise, move. So finally I'm like, okay, I have a few days left for my vacation. There's literally no point in me moving. I was fine here, but I'll move because I was sick of like going back and forth and being like, no, it's fine. And so I just didn't want to argue and I was like, I'll move. And I was so annoyed as I was packing. I was so irritated and just like, why am I having to move? Why do I have to pack my stuff up? It's kind of a process, you know, and I have to clear all my, like, everything I've set up out. But I ended up loving the new room. It was so beautiful. It was on a way higher floor, which I like, so I could see further. Gorgeous view of like the ocean. And to me, it was just such an upgrade. Like, it was so quiet. It was just everything I wanted. And I think so much of the time when we're having spirit like upgrade us, we have this resistance, or we're like, no, I don't want to go to that work. Like, it's like that person who's, you know, they're stuck in the old job, but they don't want to put their resume out. They don't want to put the work in, so they kind of stay complacent. Or the person that's in a relationship that really isn't functional and they're really not being treated well, but they're like, I don't want to have to like date again. Dating was so exhausting and I'm just not ready to do that. So they end up just staying stuck. And the only message I have for you guys is there's an energy where some of you guys are feeling stuck. I feel like that's an energy you're entering December in. It's not necessarily something that's going to change in the month of December, but it may continue in the month of December. And there's a message for you to continue maybe moving forward if that's what you want, but also maybe to be more honest with yourself about the things that you really feel drawn to and really feel called to. To me, that's one of the things this star card is representing, is like following a path that maybe doesn't seem like it has an ending. Maybe it doesn't really make sense to us of like, okay, it's definitely moving here. Because back in the day when they navigated by the stars, they didn't have Google Maps or a map or, you know, anything to navigate from other than following a star or a constellation. But if you follow it and you're navigating right, you will get to the place you want. And so sometimes I think we're kind of so stuck in like complacency. We're afraid of moving. It reminds me again of me being in that hotel room being like, oh, so I have to pack everything, and then like I'm gonna have to lug my suitcase, and oh my god, why am I having to do this? And it ended up being the best thing ever, you know. So much of the time, the things we are resistant to, the things that we are like, I don't want to do that, why should I have to do that? That's extra work, is actually taking us to a beautiful new place. So the only message for some of you guys, I'm not necessarily seeing you leave your job, but there may be a situation in your life that you have been complacent about, or you've kind of been like, yeah, it's not great, but you know what? It's fine. I'm just going to deal with it. And this is like spirit saying, well, this situation may persist and this situation may continue on. So maybe that will be your wake up call, is knowing that there's not going to be some magical moment where everything gets fixed for you. You have to be the one to take the reins and to pack your stuff up and to take your bags with you and leave. You know what I mean? Metaphorically speaking, for your life, you're going to have to be the one to take the reins and say what you want. So thinking about what that is, and maybe it's even an ego issue where maybe for some of you guys, you're like, I'm really afraid of what other people are going to say if I fail at this, or if I have to leave my job, or if I have to break up with this person and leave this relationship. I don't want my identity that I've built and that I've worked hard on to be completely ruined. So I'm just going to stay stuck in this. And there's a message that, first of all, you'll be able to build a new identity. And that's one of the coolest feelings, is kind of taking out an old identity and building something new that's more accurate to yourself. But also also that like, yeah, there's so much new potential. And if a certain identity we're already existing in isn't being honest and isn't truthful to us, it's more like a trap or a cage. It's not actually like a beautiful, oh, I'm so proud of myself for having this identity. It can actually make us feel horrible about ourselves because we're like, I'm not even being truthful to myself. This isn't who I am. I'm not actually this person. So maybe sometimes taking a temporary hit with our reputation or having to lose something that we thought was, creating a name for us or thought was benefiting us in some way, sometimes that's the absolute best thing that could happen. So just not being afraid of that. And I think stepping into an energy that asking ourselves what the most authentic choice we can make for ourselves is, and then going after that is the energy I am feeling for you guys to embrace in the month of December. What other cards are we going to get? The Magician. What is happening for pile 3 in the month of December? Ooh, we got the Lovers. I love that for you guys. So there may be a beautiful romantic relationship. It may be a new romantic relationship that wants to come in, or if you're already in a relationship or already talking to someone, that relationship may deepen, get better. You may find yourself more drawn to this person. This person may be thinking of you quite a lot. They may have you on their mind and be just very drawn to you this time. I feel like for a lot of you guys also, like with the Lovers, to me, that's also just love in general. It can be spending time even with like our pets or our family or a really close friend. It can also be kind of like those attachments we have towards things that we feel overly attached or almost trapped to, but actually we'd be fine without it. So kind of like when we can get overly obsessed with like I am in this friendship and this is a huge part of my identity, or I'm in this relationship, or I'm in this job. And kind of like learning that we can step away, we can form our own identity, and that's okay too. But for the month of December, I do feel like for a lot of you guys, this may be someone thinking of you. This may be someone you're just really getting a beautiful little like love surge out of. If anyone's on TikTok, then maybe you saw that video. But you might be getting a little feeling of love from being around these people and to just really enjoy that. I'm also seeing someone decorating their house, and it looks like they're decorating for the holidays. I'm seeing someone stringing up like little some kind of like popcorn string thing. I don't even know what this is. But yeah, some of you guys might be obviously decorating for the holidays, I guess. And that might be something I think sometimes we expect. It's like, why is Spirit even bringing that up? Like a lot of people are going to be doing that. But those are the beautiful moments that make up life, right? And to really, I think that reminder to enjoy and appreciate every part of it and not to just blow through and be like, oh yeah, another holiday season. Well, of course I have to put the tree up, but like really taking pleasure in like the actual decorating of the tree, the picking out of the tree, the bringing out the ornaments from the attic and then stringing them up and playing Christmas music and really enjoying it, because that's what really makes life up. So making sure that you're using every moment of that. I feel like pile 3, there's also a message for you guys that there's something you've been really questioning. It's been going around and around in your mind and you're really unsure of how to proceed. And you might be getting some major clarity on that in the month of December is what I'm hearing. So if you're like, yeah, I've been wanting to move, but I don't know where I should move, or I've been wanting to do something different with my job, and I'm not sure how to approach it. You might be getting the answer this month, and it may come to you randomly. I'm hearing at a time when you are spending time with others. So if you're doing that meetup with like friends because you're back home for the holidays, or you're spending time with your family and you guys are drinking eggnog together and just decorating the tree, it may come to you at a moment like that. So again, embrace these social events and occasions, because I feel like they can have some major payoff for you. Let's get some messages for pile number 3 for the month of December. So we got narrow pathway, tread thoughtfully. And I love this advice for you guys, because I just feel like this is what I was saying, was sometimes we can just kind of get stuck or stagnant or kind of complacent. Like for me, being in that hotel room, for example, I was just like, well, I'm comfortable here and I don't want to move. And I'm just like, And in those situations, we can find ourselves really getting stuck because we don't want to have to put that work in. We don't want to have to rethink things through. We don't want to have to re-situate ourselves in a new location. We kind of are stuck, comfortable. Maybe it's not perfect, but it's fine and it's good enough. And we don't even realize that we don't have to settle for good enough. We can actually settle for something that's amazing and something that makes us so happy. I mean, that new hotel room, I really loved it. Like, I was like, oh my God. It actually asked me to move a day earlier, and I'd been like, no, 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 it's fine. And then they had asked me the next morning, like, oh, well, so was the noise better? And I was like, no, not really. And that's when they were like, okay, you have to move. And they kind of forced me into it. And I was like, why do I have to do this? I should never have mentioned it, whatever, but it was such a blessing. And I think so much of the time in life, it's just about really being thoughtful and not almost like limiting our expectations for ourselves. Like, so much of the time we'll be like, well, it's normal to be in a job where I'm really stressed out all the time and my boss calls me until 9 p.m. Or it's normal to be in a relationship with a partner who like kind of denigrates me and doesn't really help with any chores, so I'm having to constantly clean up after them. That's just normal for them to forget Valentine's Day and forget birthdays and whatever. And not even realizing that, like, we have so many better opportunities. We don't have to settle for that. We can wait and hold out for magic, and we can point our compass and the star direction we're going after towards magic and towards things that make us feel magical, make us feel aligned, make us feel good, make us feel loved and looked after and appreciated. And if something is not doing that for you, that it's okay for you to be like, okay, this isn't going to work. And in that way, I think it's really key for us to like choose our steps carefully, right? And not just like plow through and be like, this is fine, or this is what the path I've been on, or I've been doing this forever, or I've been in this job forever, so I'm just going to keep going with it. So making sure that this month you really pay attention to like the people you feel fulfilled around, the people you feel energetically aligned with, the people you feel happy and positive around, the jobs that the parts of your jobs that you do that makes you feel appreciated and valued and happy. And obviously it's going to take some work, and the jobs that make you feel really drained and just don't feel positive in any way. Paying attention to our steps is so key and crucial in life for manifesting what we want. Because I do feel like with the magician, it's also that message that y'all can have whatever you want. Pile number 3. You guys have so many special gifts, so why settle for anything that isn't feeling freaking amazing? Let's get some more cards for pile number 3. So we got staying focused, hold the course. Okay. This one says distant thunder, clear the air, and overcoming obstacles. You can overcome anything. Yeah, because I feel like a big message here. I love that this one has kind of a Christmas theme. Perfect for you guys. Everything is smooth sailing. And this one says discovering truth. You stand in the light of the truth. I feel like for some of you guys, this is just about being really honest with yourselves and honest with others. Some of you guys, you get kind of complacent and you get kind of like you don't want to rock the boat. You feel bad, telling your mom, like, listen, mom, I need you to stop drinking at Christmas. You get so drunk and you're slurring your words and it's really upsetting to me. And you need to be okay with like voicing certain things and just speaking up or saying, even to yourself, like, I can't do this every time. Maybe you're like, there's no point in trying to discuss it with my mom. It's not going to change. Maybe it's just being honest with yourself about like, I feel really triggered every time I'm home for the holidays and mom is super, super drunk. It reminds me of being a kid when she would get drunk and, I was super scared because she would go out to the bars and I wouldn't know what time she would come home. I know this is like a weird specific example, but you know what I mean? Things like that where we kind of lie to ourselves and we kind of tell ourselves the situation is fine. Maybe in the month of December, y'all are just going to be much more upfront about, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm going to be honest with myself. I'm going to tell the truth. I'm going to clear the air. I'm going to just say it, because like I said, a tower card can only happen when we're lying about something and we're not being honest and we're pretending something is good and it's smooth sailing when it's not. So I think for you guys, this is about being selective with your energy, realizing the things that make you feel good. There's going to be a lot of good in the month of December. There's going to be a lot of happy, positive feelings, but there's also going to be some triggering things. And I feel like you need to know that you don't have to put up with all of it. You don't have to turn a blind eye. You don't have to pretend it's not happening. You don't have to look the other way and just ignore it. You actually can choose what you energetically engage with and what you don't, what you want to be around and what you don't. And you don't have to put up with anything that is not making you feel in that kind of alignment and in that kind of joy and happiness that we all deserve. So let me get into some astrological dice for pile number 3. So we got the 9th house, Sagittarius, Saturn, which is Capricorn, and then we have Aries, the 1st house, Mars. So we have Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aries coming through, 2 fire signs, and then an earth sign. So with the 9th house, there's an opportunity for travel for some of you guys, which I was picking up on. I feel like for some of you guys, there is a travel energy, or even planning a trip, like getting clear on where you want to go or where you want to move to. It feels like there is movement around you in some way. So maybe for some of you guys, this could even be moving a house or planning a move or whatever, or it could be a travel situation. And 9th house energy is all about learning, exploring. It's very spiritual energy. It rules over like higher education, and it's Jupiter. So Jupiter is like the major god that kind of rules over everything and has so much knowledge and ancient wisdom. So I feel like you guys are kind of in an energy where maybe you have been the wise person in your family or the wise person in some kind of social group or situation or at work, and a lot of people rely on you. Sometimes that pressure really gets to you, and there's kind of this like shutting your own mouth energy of like, I'm not going to say what I'm feeling because I don't want to disrupt everyone, and I feel this obligation to everyone. Everyone relies on me, and I can't speak up about something. And I think, again, giving yourself that permission that like you don't have to sacrifice yourself for anyone else. You can actually really advocate for you, and that's often the best thing you can do for others. I just found out that the reason they always say put your own oxygen mask on first is because you literally have about like 10-15 seconds before you'll lose consciousness when the altitude is plunging like that. Isn't that crazy? Like, I didn't know it was that serious. I thought you'd have like 2 minutes, and the oxygen would slowly run out in the plane. No, you have like 10-15 seconds. So that's why they make you put yours on first, because if you wait like 30 seconds, you can't hold your breath anymore. You'll just lose consciousness. I thought that was crazy. Like, they should put that on the plane announcements, but I guess they won't because they don't want people to panic. But my point in bringing that up is it is true that like when we're giving to someone else to our own detriment, when we are holding ourselves back, we cannot give to others. So for a lot of you guys, you need to be thinking about, why am I feeling drained? Why am I feeling like I'm overgiving? Why am I not feeling appreciated? And then you need to move and pivot and change that really dramatically. And you need to also welcome, I think, pile number 3, you guys need to kind of welcome in this concept that like, yeah, things may not always be perfect and super happy. We have Saturn coming in. Saturn is the perfect example of that, which is like an energy that's really heavy, really dense. It can be hardship, it can be pain, but it literally confers the biggest blessings. So why do we automatically look at a one-time temporary hardship or some negativity and think like the world is ending? A lot of times that negativity is coming in to teach us a lesson, to prepare us for a greater destiny or some new beautiful thing happening for us. Why are we looking at that as a negative when it's a positive, preparing us for something that we may have only dreamed of? And we may not be energetically ready for it yet until we go through that lesson and the kind of finishing school that is Saturn. Just like you may want to be a doctor, but you can't really go operate on patients until you have your medical degree and your PhD and everything. And you need to go to medical school, as much as that stinks and it's probably really hard. That's kind of Saturn. Like, once we come out the other side, we're actually so much more blessed. So I think knowing that, we can welcome in those hard discussions. We can welcome in the hard questions, really looking deep inside into like what's working in our life and what's not. And then we can make the choices about things we want to clear and things we want to bring in. Then we also have Aries energy. Aries is all about the self. It's about forward momentum. It's about transformational change and really, bringing in this fresh, beautiful, new energy and advocating for the self. So again, I feel like for you guys, you are moving forward on something. There's some forward momentum happening for you. And it's almost like we just need to pivot this month and think about things we can do that maybe the difficult things we've been putting off, even there may be an energy of procrastination about you guys that you're learning to overcome in this month of December, learning that the more willing we are to face the negativity, to take this kind of Aries energy, Sagittarius energy, two very unafraid energies, and just go for it. And also Capricorn energy. These are all energies that are not afraid of a challenge and are not going to be like, oh, I'm shy or I'm scared or that's too much work. They're going to take it head on. And I feel like that's the energy a lot of you guys need to approach this month with, is like almost asking yourself, what are things I've been procrastinating on? What are things I've been putting off? What are things that I haven't wanted to do or I've been like not wanting to look at? Maybe it's like, I know I have a bad credit score, but I don't really want to actually get a credit report and see what's wrong because I'm terrified of like what I'm going to see. And there's no sense to that. And when you think that through, you're going to realize that maybe there are errors on your credit report and maybe there's things you can change, address, fix, and it would take you like 2 seconds. And you not doing anything about it is not going to make it the situation any better. And you looking at it, maybe it's not going to be as bad as you thought and you can find a way to improve it. And maybe you don't want that moment of revelation and realization, but it's already happening, so you might as well just face it. You know, this is kind of an energy to me for you for the month of like, how can I be fully honest with myself about what needs to change, what needs to be fixed, what needs to be addressed in my life? How can I stop making excuses or pretending everything is fine or writing dysfunctional things off? And how can I take the reins, move forward head on with this kind of Knight of Pentacles energy of like looking at a situation, analyzing it accurately, being very down to earth about it, not gassing yourself up or gaslighting yourself or pretending everything's fine, but really being truthfully honest about this needs to change, this needs to be fixed. And accepting that kind of process is not always going to be super fun, but the payoff is going to be amazing. Fixing your credit from a bad credit is probably not the most fun process, but at the end of it, when you have a really great credit score and you can go buy that house that you've always dreamed of, that is a really fun process, right? So it's kind of like doing the not so fun stuff gets us to the fun stuff, gets us to the beautiful payoff at the end. So in that sense, yeah, I think December for you guys, you're going to be moving stuff forward. You're going to be meeting with family, with friends. But there is a need to take stock of your life, to make some different choices, and to maybe be willing to accept to yourself the things that you want to do differently, or the things that you want to change, or the things that aren't working out so well for you. So I think that's what I have for you. Pile number 3. I really hope it resonated. If it did, let me know in the comments. I always love hearing from you guys, hearing your thoughts, stories, observations. So let me know what you think. Also, make sure to give this reading a thumbs up, hit the like button, and subscribe, turn on notifications. And if you want to see more of my content, head to my Patreon. This one was posted early over on Patreon, early and ad-free, as are all my videos over on Patreon. And you also, as soon as you sign up, will get access to exclusive Patreon videos. So over 65, almost 70 exclusive videos about love, relationships, career, money, family, friendships, past lives, future lives, where you should live. So many different topics over there, and new ones go up all the time. So you do get early access to the YouTube videos and your own videos over there. If that sounds good to you and you would like to join, go to the link underneath the timestamps in the comments in the description, and I would love to see you there over on Patreon. And if you would like to get a private one-on-one reading with me, you can get that at my website, briarrosetarot.com. You can sign up for a half hour or a full hour-long session with me, have me pull tarot for you, read your astrology, channel for you, pull cards for you, all of that. And you can choose obviously what we talk about, how long the session is. So there's a lot of choice on your end. And if you would like to get that, go to my website, briarrosetarot.com, and you can sign up for a session with me. So thank you guys so much for watching. I am sending you so much love and light, and I'll be back again very soon with another reading. So take care, guys, and I'll see you then. Bye.